And welcome in to DNVR Bets Daily, live from Prop City, live from the DNVR bar. In Denver, we trust.
Oh,
you know the problem. Andre, wow, I thought it was going to be a regular shades type of day, but Collin Morikawa went out there and brought me 12 units, so I bought a new pair of shades.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What do you think of these babies?
Those are insane.
I wish I could see your reaction, but I can't see a single thing.
You can't see through those.
I'm blind to anything but W's is truly what it is. When you wear these, all you can see is winnings. And big shout out to Collin Morikawa for a
unbelievable
11.7 unit win for me. And I think we have the records available, which actually somehow I now have one more units than I have won bets, thanks to Collin Morikawa and that 12 unit win.
You needed Collin Morikawa's 12 units to surpass me.
Yes, I did.
And my
But that's because you bet 40
units.
things per day.
Hey.
But hey, you're winning, so you can
right.
take as many bets as you want.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure I have a migraine right now because of these glasses, but I'm committed to the bit, so they're staying on. What an unbelievable finish from Collin Morikawa.
That was insane.
There's 7 guys tied at 10. And Collin Morikawa leaves one short right in the fairway. It looks like, oh no, this could be the beginning of the end for him.
Yep.
And he hits the chip of a lifetime, which would have been the lasting image from the tournament if he went on to win from there. Which
right, we have that chip if you want.
Oh, yeah, let's play the chip.
I mean, insane.
It just
Insane.
miraculous. Here he is. This could have been a 5 from here, and instead,
Such touch.
buckets. Absolute buckets. So again, that looks like that's going to be the deciding factor. He takes the solo lead from there.
Takes the solo lead. All of a sudden, your buyout's looking juicy.
Yeah, I'm texting Dre. I'm like, dude, it's a 3-1 buyout. Should I take it? And then you're like, isn't that your rule? And I said, no. When I made that rule, I said on anything but golf. We can.
Someone find the audio.
Yeah.
I want to hear that disclaimer in there. Someone find it.
I swear to God, I said anything but golf. And so then he goes to the 16th tee and hits what I'm calling, and I can't say I've watched every major championship in history, but I'm calling this the best drive in major championship history. He steps up there with a driver from 294 yards.
That one as well.
Let's play it. And he does this. Look at that buttery fade. And from right now, I'm like, oh my God, that looks like it's going to be really good.
I mean, the way it navigates this little channel on the green there and keeps rolling was just insane.
From 294 yards out with a driver to 6 feet, buries the putt, and from then on, it was just about over.
Minus 13, it was done.
He's got a 2-stroke lead. Paul Casey, I believe, was the closest to him.
Paul Casey was 2 really close putts away from amazingly double birding on 17 and then 18 and actually making this a real thing. But he just couldn't pull through. Morikawa pulled off those 2 shots. There's no denying a guy like that.
And Paul Casey was your guy. You had got in on Paul Casey
guy.
in the morning. I got in on Morikawa, and
Paul Casey was never in the solo lead, so while I knew Casey just didn't have it, seeing how locked in Collin was, he was in the lead a couple times, but never in the solo lead to really make the buyout anything more than just my initial return on investment. So
I love our friends over at DraftKings, but they needed to entice me a little bit more to get me to take this buyout. The most it ever got to was 3-1 on a potential almost 12 unit bet.
Collin eagled.
And they took so
over.
After he eagled,
Right,
there was
it
no
was over.
buyout, which I found to be interesting. I thought they might try and get me out at 10 units or something.
Right.
Like
We
that.
should mention you used your odds boost on that. So
Oh, right. I used the
Extra.
DraftKings 30% odds boost in the
This
morning.
really earned those stupid glasses, those atrocities on his face.
Dude, the truth about these glasses, I ordered these
Sure they
after
are
our
meant.
first ever episode.
Wow.
And they just arrived
Wow.
from China yesterday.
It was meant to be.
And when
Wait, should we also include that it said Chinese toy dolls on the bag.
Allie
I was like, what did you order?
No. Allie grabs this out of the mailbox and is like, what did you order from China called Chinese educational dolls? I was like, I got some learning to do. God. I don't know what to tell you.
That's insane.
But I should have known it was a sign that I was going to have a good reason to wear these today when those came in the mail yesterday.
Yeah,
so,
insane.
Anyways, shout out Collin Morikawa. He's done it again. He's basically just trying to help me get a mortgage on a first home.
Pretty much.
So I appreciate that for him because I don't even know if he has one because he's only 23 years old.
Do you regret not riding Collin Morikawa more in your stretch of brilliance with him until now?
Yeah, don't go back to the Friday show where I said that his fade might not play on this course. But once I knew it did, I got in on it. You know, I watched it. It's kind of like a live bet. Technically, it is a live bet once the tournament has already started. Yeah. But, you know, you see how things are unfolding. You say, oh, he knows how to hit these shots. And, my God, the best two-day finishing score in major championship history. No one had ever shot sub 130. He shoots 129 on Saturday and Sunday. Just absolutely freaking absurd. Okay, Usually in these climates, we don't talk about anything but Colorado sports for this long, but that deserved it. I want to start today, Dre, with DraftKings most juicy promo they've done yet for us. And this one's really fun because all you got to do is bet on the Nuggets game. Any bet you make on the Nuggets game contributes. It's called Bump the Bet. And essentially what it is for every person who puts at least $1 on this game. I mean, if you just have a DraftKings account and you have $10 in there, you're just messing around, you got to do this for us. Yep. Go in and put $1 on the game. Yeah. And you count towards it. And for every 1,000 bettors that get in on this, it bumps it up $1 for a bigger free bet. Now, when I saw this promo, I guess I underestimated how many people were getting action out there because I was like, okay, we'll get like a $20, $30 free bet. That'll be cool. We're up. What do you have an updated?
We are at 53, kids.
We're gonna get choo-choo. So you bet $1 on this game. I mean, you bet $1 on any market in this game, props, anything.
That's correct.
You are going to get a 53 and counting dollar free bet to use on whatever you want.
We've got till 7 p.m. 826 more bettors off to $54. So let's keep it going, guys.
Let's go Operation 100.
Oh, I think we can do it.
If everyone who's listening right now and later gets in on this, we might be able to get to 100.
All my ping pong bettors out there, all you degenerates, let's get in on this DraftKings thing. I mean, you're just getting a free bet for being a DraftKings member. That's all this is.
Yeah, exactly. So get in on this, and if you are going to get in on it, might we recommend our good friend Money Printer Jr.? Now, the quality of opponent has gone up tonight as the Nuggets take on the Los Angeles Lakers. Oh. And because of that, the barrier to entry on a Michael Porter Jr. prop has gone down because they're not as confident in MPJ getting the job done against the Los Angeles Lakers because they are very long on defense, and his 6'10" height isn't as much of an advantage as it is in a normal game. But here's what I'm going to tell you, Andre. This man went 1 for 8 from threes the other night.
Yep, that's correct.
The other day. It's not going to happen again.
No.
And by the way, when he went 1 for 8 from 3, he still scored 23 points. And had 11 rebounds. And yeah, it took double overtime, but he covered
2 assists.
Not just the points, which he covered in regulation, but he covered the points, rebounds, and assists total. He covered everything, I believe, but except the 3 3-pointers. Yep. He's not going 1 for 8 for 3 tonight. I'm telling you, he's going to hit at least 3. Okay. The Nuggets are going to need him to shoot some threes because this game is going to, it's going to have some ups and downs.
They need him to score, period.
They need him to score. Yeah. So at 18.5, that's once again my favorite. We had a great conversation in the DNVR lounge on Saturday morning about Michael Porter Jr. props. And I believe it was points were at 20.5 and points, rebounds, and assists was at 30.5. Am I correct?
Yeah, that sounds right.
And I said, hey, look, to get to the 30.5, you need 20 points because he's not going to get 18 points, 13 rebounds. I just didn't see that happening. Yeah. So I feel the same way about this one. 18.5 points, you kind of need it to hit the full thing. So I'm going to ride on the 18.5. I think he gets this once again fairly easily. We had to stress out last one, and it's the one time we've had to stress out on a Michael Porter Jr. prop.
Yeah.
And not this time. I believe he racks up 18.5 pretty quickly.
Rebound set at 8.5 for MPJ.
I like that too.
I do too. That's been maybe the most reliable part of his game. And man, there was a board in that last game where Mason Plumlee gets it and kind of snatches it out of his hands, and I was incensed. I was so upset about that. But yeah, I like that. I also like Jamal Murray over 18.5. I mean, we know that. Look, the tall guys are still on the Lakers, but they have lost some guard depth. And while it wasn't always the most efficient, Jamal showed to still have that killer instinct. And that's another guy the Nuggets will need to score regardless. So 18.5 at minus 122, right around where MPJ's line is set as well. I think that's pretty safe too.
Quick update. My facial recognition on my iPhone doesn't work while I'm wearing these glasses.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so. Okay.
Rightfully so.
So let's keep going into this Nuggets. Well, do you want to quickly just hit on some things that went down over the weekend?
Yeah,
we talked
yeah.
about the Michael Porter Jr. props.
Yeah.
The Rockies, like we said, sweepless in Seattle.
Well, I mean, yesterday didn't go so great.
Right, but we said they're probably not going to get the sweep. That's how
true.
baseball
That's
works.
True. That's true.
So
And weird that 3 losses on the season, 2 have come when Herman's been on the mound, right?
I have to take control.
Yeah, you got to look at stuff on
I
your
have to be able
phone.
to see my phone.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you guys can see out there, but like these little things, these are all you can see through.
Yeah, not many slots to look through.
These will be saved for special occasions.
Yes, yeah, I would say so. Like Collin Morikawa winning his first major at 23.
Exactly.
Definitely fits. But yeah, back to the Nuggets. One bet that did hit that wouldn't have hit if not for double overtime was the over. I didn't expect that to be as low scoring as it was.
It was. It did end up being low scoring.
Especially with Jamal Murray back. I thought it'd be a little more open. But sometimes you win a bet just by being lucky. That was kind of a bad beat gone our way.
Yeah,
was
it's a
having
bad
the
beat
over
for
there.
underbetters.
Yeah.
And a good beat for overbetters.
Right. Not a smart bet. It just happened to work out your way. It's kind of, it's a classic bad beat there.
So Friday night, I gave out Rockies. We gave out Rockies over 3.5 runs. Easiest bet we've ever had.
I mean, yeah.
Over in minutes.
Yeah, and I took the under in the first 5, and that was under 4.5, and that survived as well.
And then you had the under on K's for Yusei Kikuchi.
Oh, yeah, I did. Right. Good call. Yeah. Kikuchi. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mariners pitcher. Yeah.
You say Kikuchi. I don't say it. That one hit.
Yeah.
And then I went back to that well on Saturday, and it hit again. It was actually over 4.5 for the Rockies that day. That one hit again.
That's right. Yep.
And we did not see the one hitter coming from Ryan Castellani and Jeff Hoffman and Yency Almonte.
Lose. Right.
And then Sunday, it was a classic Sunday. Just didn't have it.
Herman couldn't get his Ks even though he lasted 7 innings. It's a loss for the Rockies. They couldn't get over 4.5. That's another one I had there. An 0-2 day on Sunday. But the rest of the way, Avs. What did the Avs do for us? Because I won some money on them even though they lost that game. I guess we lost the over.
Yeah, we had the under on that one. And it was kind of a catch-22 because the Avs are losing 3-2 late.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, okay, well, if they lose,
we hit the under.
Hit the under. But we had a worst-case scenario happen where they pushed it over and then also lost. So it would have been better for us if they just lost in regulation. I guess they do end up getting the point, which didn't really matter anyway.
Oh, but what I hit was McKinnon scoring.
Oh, my God.
So that was the big unit prop there. And then was Story to Homer that also hit on the weekend? I think that hit
That was Friday.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Prop
those
City,
two
baby.
props kind of helped me survive there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Beautiful.
circle back to today.
Yes.
What do you know about how the Lakers are approaching these games as they've clinched the 1 seed and don't really have much to play for here?
Yeah, but they still need to kind of stay competitive. They still need to figure out this guard rotation that they've got. The really important thing with the Lakers is LBJ playing or are they resting? It sounds like LBJ is playing in this one.
That's important here, but the Nuggets sit here at plus 175. And what we've seen...
That's gone down since this whole promo started.
Oh, right, because people are getting in and they're just
Yes.
throwing their bet on the Nuggets money line because it's a good value.
That's right.
What we've seen in the bubble here is that the books are having a hard time projecting how these teams are going to approach it. And so you had that massive upset of the Nets over the Bucks because the Bucks threw out their B/C team.
Yep.
Doesn't sound like the Lakers are going to do that tonight, but I do think there's a scenario here where the Lakers aren't going as all out for this. Now, Dre, we also now know, because the Clippers lost last night, that the 2 seed is reachable for the Nuggets. What's weird, though, and I know that Michael Malone is aware of this, is they don't want the 2 seed. They shouldn't want the 2 seed. And I don't think Michael Malone wants the 2 seed.
Seed doesn't matter. Opponent does, and why you don't want the 2 seed is the risk of facing the Rockets.
The Mavs.
Oh, the Mavs. Yes, right. They're locked into the 7th seed. No one wants Luka.
You do not want to see Luka. Now, I think the Nuggets are a better basketball team, but
Absolutely.
remember when the Nuggets were a better basketball team than Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and the young Warriors?
I remember many of those.
And a dynasty was born as they rained threes on our heads for, what was it, only 6 games? 5 games?
5 games.
5 games. So that's you just don't want that. Playoff series bring out crazy things, and you don't want Luka to average like 30, 15, and 14 against you in a 7-game series and lose.
Yeah.
So
the way the Lakers are playing, who've only won 1 game in the bubble thus far, they probably don't want a team like the Blazers. The 8th seed race is really close too, and I mean that's
not
the
probably.
other
They
thing.
want nothing to do with the Blazers.
Who wants anything to do with the Blazers? They're scary as hell right now.
Not me.
Yeah.
Because the Lakers are on a historically bad 3-point shooting stretch right now, and the Blazers are pouring them in.
Yeah. And now the Blazers have the bigs to kind of match up with a team like that.
Yeah. I kind of hope that matchup happens because I think they can at least make the Lakers bleed a little bit.
I've got my finger on that 8 seed upset ready to go, baby. Yeah,
That's juicy.
So,
anyways, what I think we've worked ourselves into here is kind of stay away from the money line. I just don't know if the Nuggets want to win this game. I don't know if the Lakers want to win. I don't know what the Nuggets should be saying. Just play for the 3. Face the Jazz and watch Jokic embarrass Rudy Gobert for 5 games and get out of it.
Jazz, indeed. Yeah. Yes.
Donovan Mitchell's not going to be hitting 363s to tie the game very often, in my opinion.
Hopefully the game plan is actually to defend the 3-point line by the time we get to the playoffs, too.
And not miss free throws late and all that good stuff.
Now, as far as the under goes, the Lakers have scored 92, 86, 97, 111 points in their losses. Wow. So not very high scoring. The line here set at 221 with some teams that can be quite streaky shooting right now, especially with the lack of depth in both these backcourts. I kind of like the under.
I really like the under after you got done saying that. The Nuggets have not been shooting lights out from 3 by any stretch of the mind.
Nope.
Everyone not named Michael Porter Jr., and including Michael Porter Jr. in the last game, not making threes. So the under feels great here.
Yes.
And some other things that I like here. You said you like Jamal over 18.5.
Mm-hmm.
He should have good matchups throughout. So you've got that going. And then you...
Matchup's so good. We got people pounding the table over here. I love it.
And then you have the 3-pointer props. Michael Porter Jr. over 2.5 at plus 152.
And you think that's good?
I do. I think there's value there.
I guess they don't really have they have the length. They don't necessarily have the athletes at that, combo forward or even on the wing to kind of go out and guard MPJ. So I guess I could buy it. But, man, I've just been burnt too much by these.
I don't love the 3-point prop, to be honest.
And yet it can be resolved. Like, the beauty of it is it's that one prop that can be done and dusted like 3 minutes into the game.
That's true.
We saw that 2 games ago. MPJ hit that like midway through the first quarter.
And then this one I also like. Nikola Jokic over 34.5 points, rebounds, assists. I think he's going to be very involved if this is a game that the Nuggets are invested in. he likes these big matchups. I think he'll hit the boards harder than you'll normally see him. I think he could, pull in 15 rebounds in this game. And obviously, if that happens, this becomes a pretty easy thing to hit.
Yeah, as long as they're not down by like 18 midway through the third, Nikola probably plays enough minutes to hit that. I'm with you. I like that a lot.
So we're going to props because that's how it works for us.
I mean, we're proud citizens of Prop City.
We are. We are. We love Prop City.
Yeah.
Okay, second Colorado sports game of the evening is Rockies and Diamondbacks coming back here to Coors Field. And, Dre, they've done it again. They set the over at 11.5. It's 2.5 runs higher than any other matchup in baseball tonight.
Yep.
And you know what the pitching matchup is here?
I do. It's an exciting one.
Robbie Ray versus John Gray. And as I said on the DNVR Broncos podcast today, Ray and Gray keep the bats at bay.
Oh, wow.
Today.
Okay. I like it. Yeah, these are two guys with some really, really special stuff. Problem for Robbie Ray is he misses a ton of bats. I think he's got more Ks than he has inning pitched. But then when he's not missing bats, he's
finding seats.
Finding like loud contact. Yeah, finding seats. And that's an issue there for the Diamondbacks. So I'm maybe just a smidge more skeptical. But I think John's going to continue his progression. I think we're going to start seeing him miss a little more bats.
Is that a 9.45 ERA?
Sure isn't. A 1.95 whip for Mr. Ray. So, not so great this year. He's also struggled to, the most innings he's gone this season is 5 against the Strokes.
What are his runs given up in each game?
3 in 3.2, 5 in 4.2, and then 6 in 5.0.
What's crazy about that is even if he does what he's averaging, which is about 5 runs per game, I still feel good about this.
Yeah, the under still.
I still feel good about the under because I think John Gray is going to go out there and have a nice day, and maybe the Rockies win 6-3.
6-3 sounds just marvelous.
Yeah,
I think so. And I mean, Arizona's been struggling so far this season. So
right, Rockies minus 139 on the money line. I like that too. And then you get into these home games always suck for the player props, but Nolan Arenado plus 174 over 1.5 hits. I just don't understand. He's struggling so much. Why is that so high?
Are you going under on Nolan hits? Are you doing it?
The under is minus 230, so no, I'm not. But it's just interesting to me how this is kind of working out here. Charlie Blackmon over 1.5 is plus 161. That feels kind of nice to me. But my rule is I don't take them when they're over 1.5. I only take the half.
Man. No, Charlie is too nice to pass up. You've seen Charlie Blackmon's stats against lefties?
Yeah, what is he hitting?
Like 500.
600?
Yeah. Robbie Ray's a lefty. He's he's plus 161 to go over 1.5.
I know.
That's incredible value.
He's got to get 2 hits. That's hard.
That's all he does is get 2 hits these days.
I mean, he's almost batting 500, which is basically an average of 2 hits per game.
Yeah, guys, no, I think we need to ride Charlie out right here while we can. You have to.
You go ahead. I'm sticking to my rules.
Oh, man. No, I was struggling to find a good prop in this one. I found it.
Some other props here.
Hold on. We've got someone asking who
got a
you
question?
guys got scoring a home run tonight for the Rockies.
Who do we have hitting a home run?
The value, again, is kind of with the vets. It's Chuck at plus 435, and it's D. Murph. How great is Daniel Murphy to watch play baseball? He's outstanding.
He's such a goofball.
Plus 655? I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of value, that's for sure. If you're going to do it, though, you might as well go home run and team to win. Daniel Murphy plus 1,000.
You said it. Smart right there. I like it.
We'll keep going to that until the game where the guy hits a home run and the Rockies lose, and we lose 6 units because we took that.
I guess that's true.
pitcher to record a win.
Oh, Ryan.
I said this was a sucker's bet.
This was yes to hit for you.
No, I hit Senzatella on Friday night.
Oh, you did. Senza's amazing.
Senza plus 160 on Friday night. It gets better, though, because it's plus 205 for John Gray today.
Oh, plus 2. I mean, that's pretty good with, no one's scared by Robbie Ray. So
there you go.
kind of like that.
Rockies win 6-3. John Gray records a win. Daniel Murphy hits a home run. Everyone cashes in.
I think John Gray also
and Charlie Blackmon gets 2 hits.
Yes. And I think John Gray goes over 3.5 Ks. They've now set it too low. 3.5 is too easy to hit that over. So go right ahead.
Okay, so quickly, official picks here. For me, I'm taking the under 11.5 and John Gray to record a win.
And I will ride with you with the under. I'm taking John Gray under 3.5. Over 3.5 Ks. And then Charlie Blackmon over 1.5 hits.
As for the Nuggets, we're going MPJ over 18.5.
Have to. And 8.5 rebounds for me.
And for me.
And the under.
And I don't want to bet the under. It's not fun.
That's fine.
Watch party here tonight.
That's fine.
I'm not going to sit here cheering against buckets.
Hey, no problem. When both teams are cold for long stretches, you'll be texting me angrily and telling me you should have rode with me. And I would just like to say, if I'm giving out advice here on the show, for me, it's an official pick. That's why I have 98 picks already in 2 weeks. If I'm giving it out, I'm putting it on my record. I just want you guys to know, I'm just, I stand by my word. Others need to qualify with official picks. That's just fine.
For me, my thing is I'm going to talk through everything and then pick out my favorites.
I love when we talk things through. Let's give a shout out to our good friends at DraftKings, and then I've got 2 things I want to talk through with you.
Yes, of course. Head over to DraftKings Sportsbook now. Use the code DNVR to get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000. You can get in on this free bet promo right after you do that. You'll get an extra going on $60 here for a free bet. So many fun things at DraftKings Sportsbook. All these props. We've actually had a listener from overseas today say, man, it sucks, but my sportsbook over here just doesn't have very many props on the Rockies and Nuggets. And it's like, man, that's such a bummer. Yeah. But here at DraftKings Sportsbook, all sorts of props everywhere all the time. And that's how you end up in Prop City. Yeah. So shout out DraftKings Sportsbook. Go over there, get your sign-up bonus up to $1,000 when you use that code DNVR. Of course, you must be 21 or older, Colorado only. The bonus is comprised of a first deposit bonus and a first bet match, each up to $500, and restrictions do apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details, and if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
My man just went off his head on that. I'm very impressive. Very impressive, bro.
Well, I've said it enough. I've got it stored away at this point.
As impressive as your record may be. Okay, well, NHL playoffs start. We have our matchup locked in. A lot of us have maybe doubled or tripled down on the Avs to win the whole thing. Do you hedge by taking the Coyotes to go through in the series? I believe that was plus 205 when I checked it yesterday.
So for me, no.
Too early, right?
Yeah. Look, the hedge is there.
It is.
But you're not, I don't know, you're not on your way to money yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, unless you're telling me there's a buyout, and we can talk about hedge versus buyout, but I kind of don't think, even though the Avs are now the odds-on favorite to win the Stanley Cup, I doubt you're getting much of a buyout at this point. So for me, I would not. Now, if the Avs go up 1-0, 2-0 in the series, it might be worth just seeing what it looks like to sprinkle a little bit on there just so you're not coming away completely empty-handed. But I would wait until you're a little deeper into the playoffs to start hedging this.
Yeah, the hedge really is a value proposition. So it all kind of depends how deep are you in, what kind of value can you get the Coyotes at, and comes down to that. But I'm kind of with you. I mean, it's...
So you go Coyotes, huh? Not Coyotes?
I could go either way, I suppose. That's how it came out this time around. And then the other is, what's your favorite strategy to use a free bet? Now, this was specifically for a $75 free bet. I think it varies depending on the amount. Over 50, I like to play it a little safer, though.
So that's what's going to be interesting here. And this was a $75 free bet. This is a question came in from one of our listeners. Yeah. And I think I'm with you here that I would change my strategy on a free bet this large.
Yeah.
Because that's an actual real sum of money right there. Like, that's going to boon your account.
Back to add it to the account and hopefully reinvest it in some smart picks.
So what would you do?
I would try to find a safe pick. But,
are we talking minus 200 where you're giving up half of this thing? Or you're saying you're looking for something around 110 that you feel really confident in?
I'm looking for something I have conviction in. It could be minus 1,000. It could be plus 200. But I'm looking at something that I feel pretty certain I'm going to get that money back to reinvest in more silliness and fun.
Now, let me just flip this on its head a little bit. Never, at least for you and I can't speak for all of our listeners here, never are you going to have $75 to put on a wild parlay. Like you're not putting a three-way parlay $75 on just an average night. But you can do that here and not feel guilty about it. At least I could. Or you could throw it on a golfer and, try to make a couple $1,000s here.
And then a hedge will come into play. That's where I would advise you as you monitor the situation, monitor the hedge, because at some point you'll probably have a pretty economical option to hedge, and then you can guarantee. And that's where we're really trying to get at this point, and just getting to a point where we can have some guaranteed income here from this free bet. That's what I like.
Yeah.
That's what I wish I'd done with the free bet I placed on the Harrison approved, parlay, and just hedged when I could get the Pacers at like plus 700 on a live bet. That would have been the smart thing to do.
Yeah, you
Don't
didn't
make
realize
that same mistake,
the Sixers were going to be a hot mess.
Some of these teams can be really good until they get to the end of the game and they don't have a closer. They
Cannot
really
relate.
struggle.
Cannot relate at all.
No, we have like 5.
And just the best one in the NBA.
Bull, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Bull.
True.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about from a national perspective tonight?
No, we've covered too much, Ryan.
Okay.
We'll save the national for the one game days.
Who cares about national games anyway?
Yeah, basically just throwing money away on national stuff, so why bother?
Yeah, we looked. We're like around 500 on national games and 40-12 on Colorado games.
Combined. Over 40 units, 41 some odd
Imagine
units
if you just
combined.
Imagine if you just had blind faith in Dre and I, and you just had bet all 52 of those picks. You're up 40 units right now.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for us today on DNVR Bets Daily. You're welcome for the winners, and we'll see you tomorrow.